loving the way Randle's approach has been this year. I know, Alex, I know you're very highly critical of him. You hold him accountable, but you have to admit his approach after the first, whatever it was, week and a half, 2 weeks of the season where he looked awful, like shooting like 30% from the field and like under 20% from three. His approach has been so much better this year. He's taking it to the hoop with authority. He's not settling for threes. I think Mike Breen said recently that during like this stretch, like for per 100 shots, he's only averaging like 19 of his last 100 shots, only 19 of them were taken from three. So he's not settling, he's attacking. So which he has to do.
Uh,
You can give him credit.
he's been playing well, but what's the George W. Bush quote? Fool me once, don't I won't get fooled again. Like he fucked up the quote. That's just how I feel right now. I can't get excited about him in the regular season. I just can't. Been fooled twice, three times. You're not gonna get me again, man. It's just
I
it's what it is.
listen. I know. Listen, year one total in the playoffs. Year one against the Hawks, total dud. Most disappointing because we all loved him that season.
Right,
He was
right.
so good, and then to
We
see
gave
him
him a
struggle,
pass. Yeah,
yeah,
we gave him a
and to
pass.
see him struggle was like really like hurtful. Like as if it was killing us as fans. Like you
Right.
don't want to see him struggle after basically being all NBA. But then against in the playoffs this past year, I feel like it's really it's the sprained ankle. I know you don't think that it was that much of a factor. I
Well,
mean,
he
I
had his
think that
best game of the playoffs, the game he came back from his sprained ankle. Like he had his best
I don't know.
game in the playoffs.
I'm not saying that that's the whole reason why he played like poorly in this playoffs, but I feel like
It's an
it's
excuse. Did you see the way Patrick Ewing used to play? Like he'd be wrapped up
Well,
in ice and he'd take an ice bath after the game. Like he was a mess. And he would
it,
come out there and play
if
hard
you
at
look at
38 years old. You know
if
what I'm saying?
if you look at the way the Eastern Conference is shaping up, right? You the
Hmm.
Celtics and Bucks and Sixers. I would believe would be your top three teams. If anybody wants to say I'm stupid for that, I'm welcome to all ears. And then it's Heat, Magic, Cavs, and then the Knicks at the 7 seed. Pacers, Nets, Bulls, 8, 9, 10. I think 1 through 7 for me really feels like those are the lock of the 7 teams. Now the order of it from four
Who
to
knows?
seven,
Yeah.
I would think the Magic drop down a little bit. But let's just say hypothetically the Knicks don't get into the 6, the 7 spot. They're in one of the 4, 5, 6. They're going to play the Sixers, they're going to play the Heat, or they're going to play the Cavs again in the first round. That's the inevitability of it. And then they're going to see if they win the Celtics or Bucks in the second round. And for my money, I don't think the Pacers or Nets or one of those teams is going to beat those guys in the first round. And you're going to get a similar matchup to last year. Do you feel confident when Julius Randle rolls into the playoffs and it's Knicks Heat again, because it will be something like that, that he's going to show up and play against those guys? That's the question. And unfortunately, for a Knick fan perspective, who's like, let me tell you all these great things that's happened, let me say all this, you can't answer it until you get there. And then from a Knick hater perspective, like myself, I'm banking on that he's shit again when he gets there. But until then, I mean, unfortunately, because of his history with the Knicks, I'll side with Alex on this, where you can say, yes, he's been great. Yes, he's been awesome. But when they get, that's all that's going to matter. And when you win 46, you're going to go 46 and 36. He's going to be awesome. And then he shits the bed versus the Heat. No one will remember it. He could have a dog shit regular season, go in the first round versus the Magic, let's say, put up 30 and 12. They advance, and he'll be lauded.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Because we were in the moment of it, so it feels good, and I get it. Like, what else are we going to talk about because he's played well? But that's all that will matter.
And what if, let's say, in a playoff series against Orlando or Miami, let's say he averages 18 and 10, shoots 47%, and just has a good, solid playoff series?
That's not good enough, man. If you're the star of the team and you're the best player on the team as
I don't think he's the
him
best
to
player of
be,
the team. We know
okay.
Brunson's the best player of the team. But
If
what
he's
if, let's say, in that scenario, he's averaging 18 and 10? Yes, you need him to average 24 or so in that playoff series. But what if RJ's the guy in that second spot who's, running alongside Brunson, averaging over 22 points a game?
Do you know
And we
what
win the
Julius
series.
Randle's? Do you know what Julius Randle's playoff stats are?
Oh, they're horrendous.
They're 17-9. So you're saying the same thing that we've already been killing
But
him
what's
for.
the
So you
field goal
can't be like, oh, he
percentage?
gets one more point and one more rebound, and like I'll be okay.
But
And like, no,
what's the efficiency? That's the key. It's
Dude,
the efficiency.
but he's going to take a lot of shots. Dolan, let me defend Alex here, which I hate doing. If he's putting up 17 and 9, he's not going 6 for 11 from the field. If they're going into a play, this is a guy
that
how many this guy takes 20 to 24 shots a game, right? I look at the box score, I'm like, let me make sure the Knicks are down here in the first quarter as they play the Thunder. No, he's 3 for 11, 4 for 12. There's no shot in hell he's going into a playoff series and all of a sudden he's shooting 4 for 11 or 6 for 13. You know it's going to be volume shots. So if he's averaging 18 points, that means he's shooting 34 to 37.
All right, what if he's averaging 21 points, also 47% shooting?
Now we're going to 6 or 7.
What's that?
Now the series went 6.
See, it's so hard to say an exact number. He just needs to do what he does. And like if he's going to be that guy that I'm going to be like, this guy can play here and this guy is a guy that we can literally win something with, he needs to show up in the playoffs. And I don't need him to do it. Like let's say Julius Randle shows up, has a first round playoff series where the Knicks win in 5 and he averages 30 in the playoff series and crushes it. And then the next round they get beat by the Bucks or the Celtics and even get swept. It's like, all right, Randle, you showed me you can do it. Like that's all I need.
Trust me. I mean, that's what I want to see also. I mean, listen, I'm not trying to carry his water and then come up with every I'm not doing his PR for him. Yeah. But listen, at the end of the day, here's the deal. We are stuck with him. He's on our team as long as he's under contract.
Your team.
Yes.
He's on our team. We're stuck with him as long as he's under contract. Yeah. We need to see, you obviously need to see this guy come through. We can't put up the negative energy out there, like wanting to see him fail just to prove
that's
our
bullshit.
Point.
That's some Nets fan shit right there, man. That's bullshit.
Who wants to see net players? Let's see their own players fail. What are you talking about?
We got to go sing Kumbaya and support him and pat him on the back.
I'm not saying that. But I'm saying is that, right, what I'm saying is that we need to, listen, he's a flawed player. He's obviously supremely talented. He's a flawed player, but he can do a lot of things that a lot of players cannot do in this league. And you have to respect that. He's an extremely talented player, albeit he's flawed. But he's our guy, and we gotta roll with him. That's how it is. Just the way like the Nets fans should be appreciative and rolling with Joe Harris.